the health and fitness and the chase of the pro card or the chase of the title. And as soon as I get that, then everything's going to be perfect.
But in becoming a professional coach, training over 40,000 1-hour sessions in my life, and becoming a mentor to thousands of trainers.
Like Sadik, I'll guarantee, I know what you're going to say after this, but you tell us. When you do the show, hypothetically, you don't place in the top 10. What are you going to do right after that show? So style, and you guys already know this, but I'm saying to everybody that's probably slow like me, style is what everybody wears. What everybody's got on. Whatever they're doing, you got to wear that because the famous people are wearing that. Fashion is your own way of taking clothes and making it cool. And I go, oh, I never thought of it that way. But I believe, and I think you'll agree, just because you win a show doesn't guarantee you fame and money.
Right.
It's what you do after. And we know a lot of guys that maybe didn't win the show and become more famous than the other people because of who they were, their personality, their character, how they treated people took them further than a title. Can you guys tell me about the health and fitness and the chase of the pro card or the chase of the title? And as soon as I get that, then everything's going to be perfect.
You know
so
what?
Did you start with that? Or
No. I mean, I hear it all the time. Kids come up to me in the gym. I'm going to drop out of college. I'm going to get my pro card. I want to be successful like you. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not successful because I have a pro card. I'm successful because the person that I am, the man that I became in pursuit of the pro card. It sounds silly. We're just going up there. It's a glorified beauty pageant with muscles. But, we're battling against the best guys in the country and in the world. So the pro card isn't going to fix anything. Because the sport's not televised. A lot of the gratification you're going to get is going to come from self-gratification. The hard work that you put in. The trophy, no one's going to remember the trophy, weeks after the show. In fact, a lot of times they don't even know who won the show. So, the pursuit of the pro card is an illusion. It's all about you and who you become and what you become and how far you push yourself.
I'm going to jump in front of Frank right now because one of the motivating things for me, listen, we were all motivated by Arnold, right? But there were two covers I remember seeing when I was a young kid and I was dealing with a bunch of insecurities. It's probably in my early teens. I saw Mike O'Hearn on the cover. I think it was of Iron Man magazine.
You weren't born in 1958.
Come on, man. I saw you on the cover of Iron Man, and I want to say you were on the cover of Muscle Mag. It was right when you were around 20 and got me by about 5 years. So I was around 14, 15. And I remember looking at that and being like, that's it, right? That was the vision right there. And then I became remember, I never got on stage. I became a professional coach. But in becoming a professional coach, training over 40,000 1-hour sessions in my life and becoming a mentor to thousands of trainers, I remember looking at them and saying, guys, your session price, it doesn't matter. You'll charge $100, $200, $500 an hour. At a certain point, it wears off. You'll just raise your rate. And at a certain point, you're like, I got to make more money. I need that next step. And I think that's something that everyone here has in common, whether you're going to win the Olympia this year, like Sadik is, Mike doing what you're doing, Frank doing what you're doing, me, I'm doing what I'm doing. We're always looking for that next thing. And it's not because we're trying to prove ourselves to anyone else. I think it's that inner drive, like you said earlier, Mike, it's that inner demon, it's that inner hustle, it's that inner rage. That's just, it's part of life, man. I don't want to retire at 50. I don't want to sit there and be like, all right, I'm done. No, I think part of it is the grind. I love that grind. That's part of me.
So I think you can pretty much say that 1 and 1A, me and Mike were probably the most hated people in the 90s because we were on more covers than
probably 1,000 covers. Probably 1,000 covers.
So the encyclopedia.
Wait, let me say one thing, Frank, because you and me talked about this. At one point, I just won the universe again, and you know how Joe was about covers.
Yeah.
You shoot with Joe, don't be on another cover. Oh, I got a phone call. So I was just in ridiculous shape, and so everybody shot me, and it was like, Frank, there's like 5 magazines here, and there's like 7 overseas. In the 1 month, I was on every single magazine. Every magazine was me. Sorry. And Frank had the same thing happen to him where he was in great shape and he was on every magazine. Only him out of everybody. And so I understand the hatred and the choices to that. The only reason I'm saying that is because I don't think people today realize how much domination we did with and it wasn't covers. They were cover stories.
You know,
it was the information on how we did what we did and what we were doing. But I just wanted to say that because I don't know if today's society realized the domination, and you made it clear.
That's why I was saying what I was saying. Sadik saw it also. It's like there was a lot.
When I was competing, and I did the cover of Muscle Mag Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. It was like a 400-page. There's a giant picture of me and Mr. Olympia Dorian Yates is this tiny little stamp in the corner. People were furious. And then I realized, I'm like, and back in that time, there was like, Nassau's Body, and there were great bodybuilders coming up from the Nationals and USA. They were great guys. And I'm like, for what I have to do to compete and keep continuing, to get better, I was like, that's not the avenue that I want to take. And I realized that's not the road to making a living and being happy. Like, I remember when I came in 5th in my show, and going back to kids, my father was like, he called me up and goes, "How'd you do?" I go, 5th. He goes, "5th, you stink." Could you imagine? Could you imagine like saying that to a kid? But that would, that drove me to do the best what I could, like, in every field that I did. But going back to what you said, Mike, no, man, I mean, they don't realize back in the day when you're on the cover of Muscle and Fitness twice in a year, which we both were, and Arnold were the only ones. What a privilege and honor that was, because they could put Stallone on the cover. They could put all these, even Joe Piscopo. Yeah.
What happened to him?
I remember seeing his cover. But I'm just saying, like, what an honor that was to do that. But the road to success, look at Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead did, Classic Z. And I think the Olympia platform is amazing for getting, you can watch people's social media numbers, jump through the roof. But it's what you do after that. It's what you do after that. It's a combination of everything. Covers lead to springboard to other stuff. So when you're constantly doing other things and you have 55 different things going on, you get to get a little bit of everything. But if you put all your eggs in one basket, they might get crushed and squashed. So never do that. So if pro card, you should have training. Like when I did covers, every time I did a cover, I went to the magazine. Can I write a column or can I write an article for you? And they're like, yeah, go ahead.
Did you guys hear that? What he said was he just didn't go the cover and go home. I got paid, I'm pretty, and go home. He goes, let me get more involved. Let me do this. And the reason why I say that is because we have all seen this, especially Frank and Sadik. We've seen the guy that loved it for loving it. Mm-hmm. And I've seen the guy chasing the trophy. And the guy that loves it to love it, like us, will stay in shape for the photo shoot after.
Yeah.
Well, even if he takes last place, he stays in shape because he gets photo shoots. He does the question and answer. Hey, do you guys want me to write for you? I got some information here. It's a continuous work where most people just go, I won the show. That's it. I'm done. Now come to me. I am so great. It doesn't work that way.
Look at Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler has 85 different businesses. He's more relevant than he is now as he was Mr. Olympia. I mean, he's doing everything he can, like, in this industry and having a great time, and he's got a ton of business. Like, he used the Olympia as a springboard, to other.
I just talked to Lee Haney, which I freaking love. And we talked about when I first bugged him and met him, I was that kid, and he's another guy, bright, be intelligent about this. I think to be successful as a bodybuilder or a fitness person, there's got to be some wit. There's got to be some wit outside the box, not just I get pro card, I get money, I do photo shoots. No. Like Sadik, I'll guarantee, I know what you're going to say after this, but you tell us. When you do the show, hypothetically, you don't place in the top 10. What are you going to do right after that show?
Well, I want to go back.
I'm giving a hypothetical. I just want to show them what a champion would do.
Well, I would go get feedback if I needed feedback, but I probably already know why I got 10th. And then I would go to the gym the next morning, get my workout in, probably have one dirty meal, then I'm back on my diet. So
would you do photo shoots?
Oh, yeah. Every Sunday, sometimes even Monday, we'll do a photo shoot and then hold my conditioning. So that's what it does, improves and stays professional. And the photographers in the magazines, I lost the magazine cover to Don Saladino. Don, I don't know if you know this, but they guaranteed me the cover of Muscle and I think it was Muscle and Strength or Muscle and Fitness. No, Muscle and Fitness. And I was like, hey, man, I don't want to disrespect you. I'm not in shape currently. I'm embarrassed. I can't get in shape in this short a time. And Don ended up getting the cover because he was in shape and he was a consummate professional. So, it's you got to always be ready.
I'm still the puppy of the group. It's easier to maintain what I have. I'm the puppy of the group.
You're the man, brother. But you got to be in shape, guys. Especially if you want the covers. But like covers was a huge thing. My whole goal in the fitness industry was to get on a cover. And I did that multiple times. And now covers barely exist. Nobody realized how much of a goal that was. And I love to go to the airport and look at myself in the magazine shop. I would stand there and wait for people to notice me.
if people don't understand that,
That's cool.
I don't think of bodybuilding as a sport. I think it is an art show because every sport works out, but we're creating a physique, and I believe that's a piece of art. It's developing. Let me get a little bit more shoulders like Sadik. Yeah, in my dreams. But it's that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like you're creating this art piece. And so that cover for us, I think, is the canvas that we just wrote and did for 3 months. And there's a shot of it saying, my man, what you created is a Michelangelo picture. And we're going to put it out there. And so for us, if people go, oh, that's arrogant to go look at your own cover. No, it's our final work. It's the pianist doing the concert. This is huge for us and the sweat we put into it.
It's also leaving a legacy, right? Like if you think about it, like your son's going to grow up and, your kids are going to grow, all of our kids are going to grow up. And I get reached out to probably weekly about this. Well, I got to get my kids to eat right. What do you do? I'm like, I lead by example.
Yeah.
I lead by example. Like, when we make burgers at the house, yes, it's grass fed. We're not frying our French fries. We're baking them. We want the food to be delicious, but you lead by example. And I'll tell the person who calls me or messages me, you're not doing this stuff. Then how the hell is your kid going to do it? Lead by example. They're going to watch you guys, the three of you, follow this path of health and wellness, and they'll follow that probably,
I think too, looking at Sadik and looking at the Olympia, like we all looked at the Olympia competitors as like the, first rate, first class. Like everyone always wanted to be Mr. Olympia. You go into Gold's Venice and they had all the great Mr. Olympias on. So even though it's not the money, it's history. So I understand if you're a competitor, why you would want to compete in the Olympia, and it's not for the money. I think that you have to have that mindset going into the Olympia that it's, you may or may not become a multi-million, whatever it may be, but you have to have that mindset. You have to love it to go in. Like Arnold loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Haney loved it. Jay loved it. The foot stomp. Ronnie, yeah, buddy, loved it. You have to have the passion and drive and that comes from the love of lifting weights and competing. I never had the love for competing. I had the love for training, which I still do, but I never had the love of going up there and posing. I did 3 shows, and that was it. But if Sadik wins, that would be that'll be history. The Olympia is the utmost, but if he doesn't, he'll be better than he ever was on that stage in that time. And then to him, that would be a personal
and one at the beginning.
Yeah, but also winning isn't the glory. I just won the Pittsburgh Pro and I was expecting this like aha moment, like I finally feel good. This is amazing. And the moment of winning is insignificant compared to the moment of preparing for the show. The most I ever feel alive is when I'm 6, 5, 4 weeks out of a show. The exhilaration it's amazing. You're like a Formula One car. You're running on, jet fuel. You feel like every day is great. But really, people get caught up on the destination. It sounds cheesy, but not the journey. It's the journey to become great that matters, not the destination.
Like Miley,
I got 5 things I want to talk about, and then I'm going to let you guys go. But we have to do that. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, buddy. Look at that.
Oh,
dun, dun.
I cannot wait to. So, just everybody that knows this, I'm going to be going out to see these guys the beginning of October. I will be there for 10 days. I'm going to be sleeping in the same bed as Don. I understand that he's very well shaven and smooth.
I'm clean. I promise.